to be with. All right. So maybe it's good before we start on the digital and talking about it to talk about the story actually. In where I come from in the Arabian region, it seems for the past maybe 20 years, a phenomenon of private schooling where the language of education mainly is English has been permeating everything, like the whole society is over there. And with that, of course, when the language of education becomes English, the mother tongue, Arabic, really takes a back seat. And we discover year after year, generation after generation, that, you have a sixth grader, eighth grader, ninth grader who can hardly read and write as they should in Arabic. So there is a lot of voices now, including our center, which that's the mission of our center, to raise issues in Arabic language education happening not only in the United Arab Emirates, but in the region where Arabic is the mother language. That, you know what, we need to pay attention to policies, we need to pay attention to practices, to research, to what's going on, that the language of instruction matters. It's why are you doing English in all subjects? And then Arabic is becoming, even the naming, they call it a special subject or an identity subject. So it became just fossilized somewhere in meaningless, really. So the idea came with the SARD, which is the Smart Arabic Reading Diagnostic Tool, came to us at the center with me and my colleagues, Ahmed Nazal, Haytham Taha, and Rabab Saleh. I'm like, look, we need to show numbers. We need to catch something, because people tend to respond to, here are what the numbers tell or show. It does a better job than just me raising the flag or other professors, other people in the community raising flags about Arabic language. Because the private school sector, which is about 85% of schools, that's private schools. So public schools they're very like a background, very minimal type of influence on education in these countries. So SARD came out of that frustration that we need to show leadership, policymakers, the powers that be, the community, society, that look where your kids are. And for that, we needed something also trustworthy. So here comes the other story, where also in the Arab world, because now this is a money-making type thing, assessment and testing, and, make a test and test all of these kids and get money for it, and it becomes big businesses type of thing coming to us from all over. It's like, we have this test and that test, but you go look deeply, they're not reliable, nor valid, nor standardized, but they claim to be. You go dig, there's no data that's out there in the open, no research published on it. And the more you dig, the more you realize, like, oh my God, what is going on? What are these tests testing really? What is going on? This is again a business trying to infiltrate into a sector that is all about, I don't know, it's education. You just don't do it this way. So we worked on SARD. This is our 4th year working, developing, making it better, trying to establish reliability and validity. And for this reason, I know there is nothing huge or interesting about a presentation that says establishing the reliability and validity of a test. But to us, the importance is that it comes from a void. It comes from a story where the mother language is being eroded with everything English, English, English. Because it started with, you need English for your work life. Like, okay, fair enough, reasonable, fine. It's the language of business, so-called. But then you don't notice, eventually it creeps up on you, and it becomes the language the kids are using when they play, when they fight, when they're at home with their grandma who does not speak English, and so on and so forth. So it has become really a pandemic kind of. So this is the story. SARD really looks at, given the science of reading, everything we know from the science of reading, but juxtaposed on Arabic, because in Arabic we have two more things. I know there are 5 things in the science of reading for English that they use: phonemic awareness, phonological awareness, vocab, fluency, and reading comprehension. In Arabic, we claim at the center, we need to add 2 more. We need to add something to do with morphological awareness, because Arabic is extremely morphological. The morphology, it's a root system language, not stem. So everything comes from a root. And we also need to focus on oral fluency. In Arabic, we have a diglossic situation, like German, if you're familiar, where we have dialects that we all speak at home, on the streets, what have you. But in schooling, it's a higher level one. It's a standardized, more academic version of Arabic. They're interdependent, they're linked, they're not divorced. It's not something completely different. So I'll give one example. I am Lebanese originally. So in my dialect, we say about the chair kirsi. In the standard form, it's kursi. So you have that level. So you can detect very similar, but we have other words that can be very different. Completely, you say the different lexicon. So, but at the syntactical level, the syntax of it, so it's a verb, subject, object. That's how most of the language works. Or we can do subject, verb, object. So both in the dialects and in the standard, it's the same. Adjectives work the same. Numbering works the same. So there's a lot of interrelatedness. It's not like when you hear from other countries where the dialect is something completely different. So in school, what kids learn, so it's an added complexity. This is why in the science of reading for Arabic, we need to add oral fluency as key in the standard language. So this is where this came from, and the journey of 4 years of developing the content, ensuring that we know from literature, from science, that there are 14 to 16 tasks in early reading that we need to cover in the test. So we cover all of those, from naming the letters, sounds of the letters, syllables, reading words with no diacritics, reading words with diacritics, reading nonsense words, fluency reading connected text. Also, we test working memory because it has been linked to reading comprehension. You have to hold the sentence in your head, in your memory, from the beginning of the sentence till the end of it, and understand it. So there is a lot of memory happening there. We call it working memory. And in Arabic, the sentences tend to be long. It's not like the cat sat on the mat, full stop. It tends to be a little bit longer and complex sometimes. So memory factors in big. So we actually tested about 3,000 kids in Saudi Arabia, in United Arab Emirates, in Lebanon, any schools that could let us in, we tried and test in there. But only, you will see here the 355 students, because a lot of the data was contaminated. So everything is recorded. So the test tests for speed of the answer, that's fluency also. And if it's accurate, and everything is recorded. So in the recordings, we could hear teachers giving the kids the answers. So we would just throw away all of that data. And we ended up with this much clean data set, which can be used for establishing reliability and validity. So as I said, there are 16 tasks. They cover decoding, naming, comprehension, memory, and phonological skills. And we tried to establish the reliability and validity. So these are more of the details on the actual tasks that students had to do. It was about a 50-minute test, and it's done online. There is no human element in it, neither in the reporting, nor in taking the test, nor in generating reports or the results or what have you. So for this, it was an innovation for Arabic language, and we got a patent for it recently from the US Patent Bureau, and did agree that there was novelty in the way the AI worked with that, where the machine was learning, especially with the kids' voices. The machine needs to learn. They don't read the same way or sound the same way an adult voice sounds when they enunciate a word. So we recognized in Arabic that performance increased consistently from grade 2 to grade 6, which is what you need to see. That's actually great. We noticed in Arabic letter level skills stabilize, yani being able to name the letters, know the sounds of the letters, do the syllables. This very early on in Arabic, it settles in, like by grade 2, end of grade 1, the kids know it. And we are thinking maybe the reason, this is a good thing, that Arabic is a completely phonetic language. It's shallow orthography, we call it. So this could be the help, especially when we have the diacritics on the words, and we do for little kids. So all through primary school, we do have the diacritics, which are semi-vowels that help them say or read the words. So it early on stabilizes. But then words, reading words, pseudo words, and text, connected text, continued to improve across the grades. It did not stabilize and say, like I know in English, they say at the end of grade 3, everyone will read fluently. Usually this is kind of the criteria there. But with Arabic, they kept on improving, or it did not stabilize by the end of grade 3, meaning that we need more work on reading comprehension. And it could be because some of the vocab is not part of their dialect, so they are learning. It's an added layer of learning that they need more time to. And there's another piece of research on brain neuroscience we will publish soon that actually not proves, but shows high probability that in Arabic kids need more time to get the grasp on the reading fluency and the reading comprehension. So we got excellent reliability numbers. Usually you need 0.8 and you'll be good when you have an assessment. It will be reliable. So ours came out to 0.91, which is pretty good on the 7 main decoding tasks. There was good correlation between the items, so they all are linked truly to reading. There is nothing that is an outlier out there, and that was really important to us. And every decoding task on the assessment tool contributed meaningfully to the overall construct. So our main is, in the end, we want reading comprehension is the ultimate. So all of it really contributed, and there was strong evidence of internal consistency. So on the convergent validity, the decoding tasks, again, they correlated very nicely with the reading comprehension, which is our ultimate skill we want kids to learn. And as I said, the strongest link for reading comprehension was that kids are able to read real words, pseudo words, diacritics, words with diacritics on them, and connected text reading. In grade 6, where it should stop, they need to be like really fluent and done, they still remain significant. The reading pseudo words, passages, and passages were still significant. So there is a connection in Arabic between decoding and comprehension. After controlling for letter naming accuracy, letter levels effects largely disappeared. So as I said, the letters and knowing the names and sounds of letters after grade 1 or early grade 2, it's no-brainer. Then the word level tasks remained significant up until the last grade level we tested, which was grade 6. So I'll go here. Same, it's explaining the same thing. So we measure the common reading ability when preserving meaningful subskills. And SARD captures both foundational orthographic knowledge and lexical processing. The patterns we are seeing align with established models of reading development. In short, what this means is that there are so many voices in the field of Arabic language education saying, but Arabic is different and Arabic is unique. Our findings are saying, no, it is the same as any other world language. It might have features that are a bit different and unique, yes, but as a reading theory, it does pertain to Arabic as well. It works the same, but the weighting in the brain, and this is another research that will come, we are finding the same areas in the brain are working as any other language we know of or has been researched, but it's the weight that is different, which what we are suspecting and will be promoting or studying even more is that with Arabic, you might need more than 3rd grade to get to where you are fluent and with comprehension. You need that more time because of the glossia, because of the complexity of the syntax. It doesn't make it difficult. And also the amount of exposure. If you are spending all of your day in English, like what's your level of exposure to the language? So the limitations, of course, is that we took a cross-sectional design. We did not have a test-retest reliability yet. We are really trying hard. There is a lot of gatekeeping to the schools, which is good for them, fair enough. But it makes conducting research and test, retest, or pre-test, post-test a very, very difficult thing. So our next point now is to establish what we call in research the golden standards of assessment. We don't have a golden standard. We need to do it ourselves with this. We have to compare to another test or do a retest or do something to establish that. This is a key for us, but we need an entry point into schools, into a good number, like, I don't know, 300, 400 students. And we still need criterion validity and predictive validity studies, which we are working on. So for starters, this is a very good start for Arabic. At least it puts us on the right path for something reliable and valid, something that we can share. It's available for free so far, by the way, with open data, and we have just added to the reports, to the results, recommendations for the teachers. We've worked like it was machine generated, worked with the machine, gave it lots of examples of recommendations based on certain profiles. So now it's able to do these recommendations, and we shall see where it goes from there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.